My father was an operator, grandfather was an operator. Both brothers operated, and it was just kind of, my father always said, if you get it in your blood, you won't never leave it. And it started that process. And then over time, I went to different jobs. I've had many different jobs over the years. And one of my jobs was the EAP coordinator for 15 years. And that got me to helping people. And that's my heart. I care about people a lot. I want to put a smile on somebody's face.
I needed a job, and I wanted something maybe that I didn't have to work night and weekends. It was a temporary thing. I had finished all of my high school requirements about 5 months ahead of graduation. All my friends were still in school. Most of my family worked here, so I came out here thinking that I would just stay for a little while, and I loved it.
My dad worked here for a long time. He worked here and then he left. He had over 40 years, but not in a straight line. And believe it or not, I met my wife here. Wonderful woman, been married 35 years, still married. I met her out here. She was a pipe fitter helper. That's history there.
I've had multiple families. My grandfather was here for about 18 years. My father was here for 32 years. I have a brother that was here for 14 years and another brother that was here for 38 years. And I'm the last one left here.
I'm a third-generation shipbuilder. I have my brother has retired from here. I have a sister that works here, 3 nephews, a few uncles and aunts, and numerous cousins.
My father worked here and I'm not sure of the amount of years, but it was over 40. It was around 45. I think he retired when he was 72. I have a older sister that retired. She had been here 37, 38 years. And I have a lot of cousins that work here.
My first ship that I worked with was on the forklift on the dock was CG-47, the Ticonderoga, the first of its class. And then when I went to safety, I was on the DDG-52 Barry. That's my first ship to have as a safety man, and I had a very strong general ship superintendent, which was Gary Petty. But I learned a lot through that process. Then over the years, and I'm on the LHD-1. I was the half-hat fan man on the LHD-1, first ship of it, so I worked all of those. So had something to do with all the ships since those days, because when you're in forklifts, you're in safety, you bounce around different ships for different things that may be going on during that process.
Most of my career has been in a support role, so one of my first memories of a ship that I worked with and on was the Battleship Owl that we did overhaul over on the East Bank. And from there I worked on several overhauls. Worked on some Israeli and corvettes, which was a new line that Ingalls built. I worked on the cruisers, Ticonderoga class. And then again, I support the current DDGs and LPDs, LHAs, and NSCs. So in a support role, sometimes you get to touch all of them. The time that I was assigned specifically to a ship when I was on LPD 24 working on the program office, and I'll never forget those times. I worked beside the deck plate individuals, and I learned so much from the craft about what they go through every day and how hard a work it is.
The one that I tell people about is when the Bob Hope was built here. I stenciled and center punch across the stern the name Bob Hope, and then the welders came back and put the weld bead on it. So it's something I can remember and tell people I put that name on there. You know, the welders came and welded it, and the painters painted it, but I laid it out where it was.
When I came to work, we were finishing up the DD 963 class, and I actually started on the cruiser program, the CG-47 class. I worked on that class till the end of it. I worked on the DDG-51 class that we're still producing. I worked on the very first one that we got, which was the DDG-52. That was my ship, and I've worked on many of those. I've worked on the DDG-1000 or DDG-1000. I've worked on the LHAs. I've actually worked on LHDs. I'm not going to be able to think of all of them. So many.
I look at Master Shipbuilder as being someone that is dedicated. You dedicated 40 years of your life to be reliable, to be one that's going to be there every day. I enjoyed it. And being a master shipbuilder is just that showed my commitment to the company. They've been very good to me, to my father, to my brothers, and to my grandfather until he retired. Good people to work for, good company. It's easy to be a good employee when you work for a company that takes care of their employees. My father raised us that when you get a job, you choose to like it or dislike it. And I've chose for 40 years to like it. I come to work happy. I like my job, and I still do. And I've had the opportunity to do those different things, and so that's made me come, it's made me stay, and it's made me enjoy my job here at Ingalls.
I guess for Master Shipbuilder is an honor that I've had the opportunity to work for decades here and be a part of the legacy.
Being a master shipbuilder, first of all, means that I'm getting old. It's an accomplishment to me that I have made it 40 years here at the shipyard. I have worked in an air-conditioned and heated office all these 40 years. When I see people that are master shipbuilders that have been welders for 40 years, I'm like fascinated. I'm just in awe of those people. They're out there welding steel together for 40 years. That is amazing to me. So being a master shipbuilder is important, especially for those out there. I'm proud of it.
It's a journey. It's accomplishment. I look back and see how far I've gone and some of the things that I've done and putting the things on the ship to now designing them on paper to put on the ship, which is exciting to me. I really like what I do.
I've always been a cheerleader working for Ingalls. I can't think of anywhere that gives you more opportunities. You can do something different every day. You can make a long career and just there's so many opportunities out there, whether you're working in engineering or whether you're working in planning, just being part of something that's bigger and giving back to the country.
I would say that Ingalls is a place that we hire everything. I talked to some junior college kids, and I said, we have every job available to you. So if anybody was looking for a job, growth opportunity, when you've got 11,000 plus employees, there's plenty of growth opportunity if you want to grow. And you may be happy doing what you're doing. I'm a very pro-employee person. That ship fitter, that craftsman, that welder makes us all a paycheck. And I'm glad for them. I'm proud for them. And because of that, this has benefited South Mississippi tremendously for many, many years.